The Suns matched the Pacers' 4-year, $133 million offer sheet for restricted free agent Deandre Ayton. So here's the deal. Ayton stays in Phoenix, but the Suns can't trade him until January 15th, and that's going to have an impact on the KD sweepstakes.
So what you just heard right there, them saying this diminishes the whole Kevin Durant sweepstakes, is just a straight up lie. It's not true at all. In fact, everyone knew that the Brooklyn Nets did not want Deandre Ayton. They literally said it, which just made sense for Phoenix to want to keep him. I was prepared to lose Deandre Ayton, but it was going to be an assign and trade. However, they did an offer sheet thing, and he now cannot be traded till I believe January 15th. But if you've been listening to Flex, you would have known this a long time ago that the Phoenix Suns were not going to let go of Deandre Ayton for absolutely nothing. The only way we would have lost him was via a sign and trade so we can get some assets. However, that didn't happen, so we're just going to keep him. I've said this for some time, but if the Suns were able to keep Deandre Ayton and somehow acquire Kevin Durant in this situation, then I think they take a W. In fact, a W is kind of an understatement. I think they'd be a super team. I mean, they have 4 amazing all-star level players. In a situation where Mikal Bridges is your 5th option and DeAndre is your 4th, I wouldn't be too mad about that. What I think is kind of funny is people been already trying to eliminate Kevin Durant to the Suns because they don't want to see that happen, because if it does, like I said, they're a super team. Before I even get into the rest of this and DeAndre Ayton becoming a Phoenix Sun and what else this could mean, I want you guys to remember one thing. Who's been the person that has said this the entire time? Who's been the person that's called every move that Phoenix has done so far? It was Flex. Think about all the things that Flex has talked about and they've came true. He said Kyrie was going to probably accept his option, but he was going to probably leave. He called it when Kevin Durant said Phoenix was his preferred destination. And with DeAndre, he straight up said that they didn't want to lose him for anything, and if they couldn't find a trade, they were gonna get him back, and look what happened. Flex has stood his ground every single time, and yet he's always been right. There's a term called instant gratification, which I learned a couple years ago from my dad, and basically it means that people don't have any fucking patience anymore. That's the best way I can put it. Free agency started about 2 weeks ago, and we haven't really seen any more movement on the KD trade, but I expected this. This is gonna be the biggest trade in the NBA for a while now, so I expected it to take a little bit of time. This isn't just a random player. This is Kevin Durant we're talking about. And you might be saying, oh, but Golden State had him in only a couple days on July 4th. Why didn't it take that fast? Well, you see, that was kind of predetermined. He had talked to Draymond Green and Steph Curry and players like that, and they were ready to go by July 4th. And obviously, I'm sure he's been working out with Devin Booker, which rumor has it. In fact, I say it's a rumor, but it's basically confirmed by a lot of sources. So you know they're talking right now. However, this is a particular interesting situation because it's a trade instead of a free agency signing, so obviously both teams have to agree. So I'm sure if it was free agency, then everything would be done by now. So for all the people who are waiting for a Kevin Durant trade to happen literally tomorrow, just be patient. It is going to eventually happen because we all know where he wants to play, and that's Phoenix. And if he does get traded somewhere that is not the Phoenix Suns, then you're gonna have a disgruntled Kevin Durant who's more than likely gonna sit out and wait until he goes to Phoenix. Whether or not I like the way that's gonna happen, Kevin Durant really doesn't have that much time. He has maybe 5 years max, and he wants to win a championship, and he thinks he can do it with the Suns. Anyways, I want to stop talking about the KD trade for just a second because I think we should focus more on DeAndre and kind of what this does for him. There were many rumors that came out that DeAndre did not want to play for Phoenix anymore. He was just as good as done, and honestly, I don't know how true all these are. His agency didn't say anything. He didn't say anything. I know the whole Suns franchise, players, executives, people in general, they wanted to keep DeAndre Ayton, and secretly so did I. I love DeAndre, and I didn't want to let go of him, but I knew that if we did have to let go of him, it would be for a good cause. However, we don't have to. While he didn't quite get the max he was looking for, he did get a big payday regardless. But now he got it from the team that got him in the first place, and honestly, I think he wants to play for Arizona. He just kind of went through something. I think him and Monty have problems to work out. I don't know if him and Book have beef, but if they do, they need to work that out, because even in a hypothetical situation where Kevin Durant does not get traded to the Phoenix Suns, now it's time to run it back with a team that has championship aspirations. Even if Kevin Durant is not a Phoenix Sun by next year, you still do have some interesting assets coming off the bench. You lost some players, so now you kind of have to deal with that and see how the season's gonna go. It seemed like towards the end of the season, things just started to fall apart, and DeAndre wasn't exactly in the best mood, but now maybe DeAndre will be more locked in to win a championship. Again, this is all speculation. Maybe DeAndre will do the same thing I talked about earlier and try to force himself out of Phoenix. Now, I won't lie, for a while I kind of been on the Suns Reddit just looking at things, seeing how people react, because I'm interested interested to see how Phoenix Suns fans and even NBA fans as a whole like to react to certain news. And a Reddit user by the name of Fing Num just made a really good point, which honestly I didn't even think about this. He said on a post, quote, "The unspeakable just occurred with this franchise and everybody is overlooking it." In a single 3 minutes, not only did DA sign an offer sheet, but Robert Sarver matched it and went $15 million into the luxury tax. Added to that, Flex is as cool as a cucumber, still positive on us getting KD. Added to that, the news broke that we were willing to go $80 million into the tax. Now it's been known for years that Robert Sarver doesn't like to spend money and he's a really bad owner, but in this case he actually took a W. And like he said in that post, the Suns want to go $80 million into the tax, which means Sarver is willing to spend a lot of money to make this happen, which I think is very interesting because like I've been saying, this is a straight up super team. There's no nice way of putting it. Phoenix will dominate and be the villain of the NBA. To be honest, I don't know who Phoenix is going to have to give up. I pray to God it's not Mikal Bridges because I'd love to keep him. I'm not sure who's going to be involved in this trade, so it's probably going to take a while, especially because the whole 3-team trade kind of fell out the window because Deandre Ayton wasn't going to go to Brooklyn, but maybe a team like Utah. Regardless, at this point, I don't think Phoenix needs to do anything extra. I think they just need to get just straight up Kevin Durant, not Kevin Durant, Hassan Whiteside, and Jordan Clarkson and things like that, just KD. Unfortunately, I love Cam Johnson and I don't want it to be traded, but if we have to give up Cam and Jay Crowder and other assets, then I'd be okay with that. Just know that our picks for the next 3 to 5 years will more than likely be gone, which at this point, the Phoenix Suns have not even utilized the draft properly in years. I know it was only like 2 to 3 years ago, and I'm referring to 2019 when they got Cam Johnson, but still, that's a really long time when it comes to the NBA draft. But a lot of people need to realize that this was very big for the Phoenix Suns because now they don't have to deal with that situation anymore. DeAndre Ayton is a Phoenix Sun, and I'm sure they're going to work out their problems. I believe they can. But now it's a matter of fact of trading for Kevin Durant, and lately it seems like Kevin Durant's value is starting to diminish because so many teams have offered really good packages, but they decline them. And then you got Brooklyn trying to finesse these teams for literally the worst trade offers I think I've ever seen in a very long time, and they're saying no. I mean, I saw a trade offer where it was like Jamal Murray, Michael Porter Jr., and some other assets, and like 1 million picks for Kevin Durant. And I think I saw another one where it was like Anthony Edwards, D'Angelo Russell, and another asset. I think I even saw a trade yesterday where they wanted Brandon Ingram, but the Pelicans said no, which honestly, I'm glad they did. I think later into training camp and hopefully around the beginning of the season, we're going to be seeing a situation where Brooklyn gets desperate. And I know while I've been recording this, reports are coming out from Woj saying like, oh, the Phoenix Suns are no longer a contender to get Kevin Durant. All these media people are saying the exact same thing. I want you to personally tell them that I told them to shut the fuck up. At this point, I'm pretty sure 99% of people in the NBA think that Woj is on the Nets payroll, and it wouldn't shock me. Woj has been trying to push the narrative that Phoenix cannot get Kevin Durant every single day. Anytime the trade even gets brought up, he tries to deny it and makes claims that it can't happen. And as I've said before on this channel, Flex has way more information than anyone in the NBA media, so if I'm trusting anyone, I'm trusting Flex. Maybe the first 2 times it was like, okay, that was just luck, it was a 50-50 guess, it's anyone's guess, even though it was statistically not a very good guess if you didn't know what you were talking about. But time after time he's been right, so why are we still doubting this man? Can we give him some credit? Like, this motherfucker doesn't miss, so let's listen to Flex when he says stuff like, hey, all these Woj reports, do not listen to him. Don't listen to these mainstream NBA analysts because they're not gonna have all the news about this trade situation before Flex does. It's just a matter of fact. If you want any of the latest news about the Phoenix Suns and especially this Kevin Durant situation, I highly suggest, as a matter of fact, I'm telling you to follow Flex from Jersey on Twitter and turn on notifications. And no, this isn't sponsored. I'm not on the payroll like Woj is for the Nets. I just really trust this dude, and I think you guys are gonna want to listen to what he says because he's yet to be wrong. If you guys enjoyed this video, I think there's a video on the screen right now that you will personally enjoy. And as always, I'll see y'all boys in the next one. Peace.